What's up guys, Brett Medlock here. Today I wanted to talk about the future of Switch and basically what games we could possibly get this year. Now Nintendo will often announce a game the year that it comes out, so I think we're in for a couple surprises. And of course I have some predictions. What can I say? I love doing prediction videos. I'm just gonna jump right in. I think this is the year we get Overwatch on Nintendo Switch. It seems like all of the big hitters are making their way to the Switch, and we've just been waiting for a couple, and one of them is Overwatch. This is a massively popular online shooter, and it's still like going strong with like esports and all that stuff. I'm not a really big player of it. I've played a little bit. I'm not that big of a fan of it, but I know it has a huge audience, and I'm sure Blizzard wants some of the Switch money-making pie, so they're probably going to bring Overwatch to the platform. We know it could probably run on it. Overwatch isn't a very graphically demanding game. It seems like it'd be able to run on Switch no problem, which I would really love to see. And there were some rumors of Tracer making her way to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which would align perfectly with an Overwatch release on Switch. I think that'd be an awesome way to promote both games, and I think honestly that Tracer would fit right in the Smash Bros. Universe. So she's a really cartoony, bubbly character that I think could have some really awesome moves in Smash. So there's my first pick. Now this next one is a similar situation. I still think Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to make it to Switch sooner or later. I know that Rockstar wants some of that money. Of course, Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the highest grossing entertainment thing that has ever existed, and the Switch currently is the fastest selling console of all time, so you combine those two together and both companies make a ton of money. And of course, once again, we know Grand Theft Auto 5 can run on the Switch because it had an Xbox 360 and PS3 version, and the Switch is right around that power. So I would love to see Grand Theft Auto 5 on Switch. It's the perfect game I would love to take with me on the go anywhere I went. Of course, you wouldn't really be able to access the online functions, but at least you still got a meaty single-player experience. Sure, a lot of people have already played it to death, but there are still some people that love it, and I personally would love to replay that game on Nintendo Switch on the go, maybe on a plane trip. That would just be really awesome. So Grand Theft Auto 5 is my second prediction. I think it's coming this year. Now next up, I think we're going to get a Zelda remake. Now what game is it going to be? I have no idea, but if I had to guess, it's either going to be Skyward Sword or The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. My dream is that Nintendo will bundle in Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time HD into one cartridge for Nintendo Switch. You've probably seen the fan mock-ups of this, and it looks really awesome. These are two great Zelda games. Ocarina of Time is probably my favorite Zelda game of all time. It's one of my favorite games of all time for sure, so I would love to see this game on Switch. Of course we got the 3DS remakes, but honestly all they really have to do is take those 3DS versions, up-res them to HD, and I still think they would age perfectly fine. Nintendo's graphic choices, like their art styles, they age so well, so you don't really have to do that much to them to make them look really good. So Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask would be awesome, but it's probably Skyward Sword, which I wouldn't really mind. I think that game needs a bit of a second chance because a lot of people weren't playing their Wiis whenever that game came out, and a lot of people were really sick and tired of motion controls when it came out, and that was what it was all about. And I think it had some really great puzzles and like temple designs, and I would love to replay through that game in HD on Switch. But anyway, next up is Super Mario 3D World. This would be one of the few Wii U games that weren't ported to the Switch yet. I would love to see this game on Switch. It's a really fun co-op Mario game, and it's in more of a 3D fashion rather than the 2D games that we got from the new Super Mario Bros. Games. I recently was playing this on Wii U with my wife, and we were having a blast, and obviously I probably wouldn't buy it again on Switch, but I know there's a lot of people who missed it on Wii U, so I would love to see the game make it over, and same with Super Mario Maker. So if I had to guess, there's definitely a Mario game of some sort this year, and it's probably going to be a remake because I highly doubt they're done with another mainline installment. So be sure to let me know what Mario game you would like to see on Switch next. Now the next two are really pie in the sky predictions, but here we go. I think Star Fox Grand Prix is a real thing. I think it's been in development and it got leaked around E3 time, so people thought that it was going to be an E3 announcement, but no, it's just a game that's in development, and I think they're probably going to show it off this year. The Star Fox series hasn't really been doing all that great in terms of like critical reception, and I haven't really liked the last few games, but I think taking it into the racing space could actually make things really fun, and I would love to see a crossover with F-Zero. I think that'd be a really great way for Nintendo to show off those two franchises by combining them together and giving us this awesome experience with all the characters that we know and love, and just having them duke it out on the battlefield, shooting each other, ramming each other off the road. I would love to see that, and I would really like to see a racing game that takes advantage of the Switch hardware. I mean, Fast RMX looks amazing, and that's basically an indie title, so I can't imagine a first-party racing game with that first-party money, how good it would look on Nintendo Switch. So that's something I would really love to see. Now the last game on on this list is, I have no idea, but I think it's a Retro Studios game. As I'm sure you know, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze came out like, what, 4 years ago? That studio had to have been working on something. Obviously now they're working on Metroid Prime 4, as Nintendo announced about a week ago. So we know they're working on Metroid Prime 4 right now, and we know they did the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze Switch port, but honestly, what were they doing during all that time? I highly doubt they were just twiddling their thumbs. So I think there's a whole nother game that's coming. I think the reason why they announced that they're making Metroid is because their other game that they've been working on is about at the end of production, and it probably has a 2019 release date. Now there were some rumors swirling around Reddit a while back, and it was that Retro Studios is working on a horror game for Nintendo Switch, so that would be really awesome. I would love to see that studio take a whack at something like that. A first-party horror game by Retro Studios sounds like heaven, and I think it would really diversify Nintendo's first-party lineup. I have no idea what that game is, but I think there's a Retro Studios game that's coming out this year. My bold pie-in-the-sky predictions. That's all I got to say today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to let me know your predictions down in the comments section below. Please hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys later.